Hey everyone! So Cyrene's official kit is finally out, and in today's video, I'm going to break down all the incredible buffs she gives to Chrysos Heirs. Her kit is massive, so in this video, I'll specifically focus on these buffs, because the leaks over the last few days caused quite a bit of confusion. And let's just say they were spot on. So let's dive into every buff Cyrene brings to the team. Save up to 25% on Aniric shards at lootbar.gg. To celebrate version 3.6, you can grab the 6,480 Aniric Shard Pack, normally $100 in-game, for just $72 on Lootbar. That's 81 pulls, almost guaranteeing you a 5-star for your account while saving you $28. The process is super simple. Just enter your UID, select your server, and receive your crystals in under a minute. No password needed. Lootbar uses official recharge channels, has hundreds of 5-star reviews, and partnerships with several big content creators that you probably know, so everything is completely safe. Lootbar also supports PlayStation 5 and Xbox top-ups. Click the link in the description to get your discount. New users get an extra 10% discount while returning users get 5%. First up, she has this straightforward but absolutely insane damage boost. If she hits 180 speed, she stacks a flat 40% damage buff. Think about that. 20% comes naturally from her talent, then another 20% on top just for hitting that speed threshold. The key part? This buff is completely unconditional. No timers, no activation needed. Her signature Lightcone helps her reach that speed breakpoint easily, so this 40% is basically active all the time if you're running her optimal setup. Then there's her true damage zone that activates after using her skill. It lasts 2 turns and works similarly to Tribbie's E1. True damage is always a fantastic bonus, and it ties into one of her Eidolons that amplifies this effect even further. This means she's not just adding buffs, she's actually shifting damage types in ways that can bypass defense and shields entirely. Now, the ultimate is where she truly shines. When activated, it doesn't just deal massive damage, it triggers the ultimates of your entire team simultaneously. On top of that, it activates that true damage zone with no expiration duration, grants her Memo Sprite an extra turn, and boosts crit rates for both her and the Memo Sprite by a whopping 50%. This ultimate requires 24 recollection points to activate. Those points come from her skill, basic attacks, and scale based on how many Chrysos Heirs you have on your team at battle start. Every ally action adds to recollection too, though non-Chrysos Heirs only receive partial damage boosts from the Memo Sprite buff. Here's where things get really spicy. These buffs aren't uniform across the board. Some Chrysos Heirs get absolutely game-changing enhancers, while others get more modest improvements. The Remembrance Trailblazer, for example, gets his attack boosted by 16% of the Memo Sprite's HP, while his crit rate scales with 60% of the Memo Sprite's crit rate. After his enhanced basic attack, he immediately gains an extra turn and deals huge HP percentage damage to all enemies. Cyrene basically transforms the Trailblazer into a legitimate main DPS, which is honestly impressive. Aglaea receives maximum speed boost instantly when entering Supreme Stance, plus a 72% damage increase while ignoring 36% defense. Tribbie gets solid 12% defense ignore on her own damage, plus additional hit damage on follow-ups, which synergizes beautifully with her kit. Mydei's buff is refreshingly straightforward. When Vendetta triggers, he automatically uses his signature move with 60% extra crit damage and no charge cost. Not in Vendetta? He simply gets 100% action advance. Comparing this to previous leaks about his buffs, that's actually quite generous. Castorice is arguably one of the strongest beneficiaries here. Her new buds can overflow up to 200%, and when she uses her ultimate followed by the dragon attack, the bounce damage scales incredibly hard based on how much overflow horsepower she consumes. The scaling becomes even more powerful when there are fewer than 2 enemies on the field. Cipher receives a solid 36% damage increase while reducing enemy defense, 20% specifically for Patron and 12% for everyone else. Anaxa recovers skill points and gets 100% action advance, plus significant boost to skill damage and extra damage instances that last 1 turn. Hyacine gains excellent support value with 24 energy regeneration and a 72% increase to healing effectiveness. Phainon's buff is insane. Cyrene gives to Phainon increased crit rate, infinite ultimate turns that refresh instead of ending, but with a trade-off. He loses 15% HP each turn, and after every attack, he unleashes 5 additional fire damage hits. Whether this creates truly infinite turns or has limitations, we'll need to see actual gameplay to confirm. The remaining characters also receive meaningful buffs. Cerydra increases crit damage for characters with military merit by 30% and gains charge points when her buffs end. Evernights Memo Sprite damage increases by 48% after reaching 16 Memoria, and she gains Memoria points from skill or ultimate usage. Heng enhances Bondmate damage by 16% for 2 turns, with Soul Dragon's next 3 attacks dealing additional damage equal to 80% of Bondmate's shield value, plus various action advances and enhanced effects. Even Cyrene herself benefits from a self-buff where, after gaining recollection from all allies, her Memo Sprite skill deals additional damage to random enemies. Now, let's talk about her signature Lightcone and Eidolons. Her signature Lightcone is absolutely game-changing, providing an 18% speed boost that helps her hit those crucial speed breakpoints we discussed earlier. But here's where it gets really spicy. When she uses her Memo skill to buff an ally, all enemies take 10% increased damage, essentially creating a universal vulnerability effect. When she attacks enemies directly, all allies gain 16% crit damage. The kicker? When both effects are active simultaneously, they amplify each other by 120%, meaning you're looking at 22% increased damage taken by enemies and 35.2% crit damage for your team. This Lightcone isn't just good. It's potentially broken and might be a must-pull alongside Cyrene herself. I won't dive deep into each individual Eidolon in this video since that would make it even longer, but here's what you need to know. Her Eidolons are designed to make her even more of a monster. They enhance recollection point generation, increase true damage multipliers based on ally buffs, and provide energy refunds when ultimates are used. Look, I know this is an overwhelming amount of information, and honestly, piecing together all these buffs makes Cyrene feel like an incredibly complex but potentially game-defining character to build around. From what we can see, Phainon appears to be the biggest winner with those infinite ultimate mechanics, while Castorice and Hyacine also rank extremely highly thanks to their multiplicative scaling. Anaxa might be the sleeper powerhouse here. Depending on how frequently you can proc his enhanced skill damage, he could become absolutely disgusting in the right teams. Given the HP scaling we're witnessing in version 3.7, pulling for Cyrene might become the definitive meta move. She's designed around synergy, speed management, and sustained burst potential. And judging by the sheer volume of tailored buffs in her kit, this character isn't going anywhere anytime soon. If you're planning your pulls or team compositions, Cyrene needs to be at the forefront of your considerations. Her kit represents a masterclass in personalized buffs tuned for specific characters. However, be aware that she only provides insane value for Chrysos Heirs specifically. If you don't have any characters from Amphoreus, which honestly, I find hard to believe none of you have pulled yet, then Cyrene might not offer significant value for your account. That wraps up today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.